Welcome to the channel, everybody. Leveling Diecast. Yes, it's 2024, but we are going back to 2022, taking a look at a Matchbox set. This one never, ever, ever showed up anywhere near me. It's been a little bit since I can find a set that was a reasonable price off of, Evil Bay itself. But this is Local Cruisers. This is mix number 2. This is 7 through 12. I will copy the or link the video for the first set of 6 at the end of the video, should you guys want to go see that. We're going to kick it off with the first one. This one is exclusive to this set. Brand new deco for this 1969 Chevy Camaro in blue with some flames. That is the entire mix right there. There's only 2 new models in the mix. The other 4 in this mix are reissues. We will do comparos as typical. See, 2022 Mattel. These are the assortments back in the day. This was, one of those Walmart sets for whatever reason. Like I said, this one just never, ever, ever existed anywhere near me. Prices have been ridiculous for quite some time to get my hands on this. But I finally did find a set. This is the 69 Camaro. It does have the exposed lights there in the front. Looks pretty good. This is the newer casting. This guy is 2019 updated version. Looks pretty good. R29 is the day code for these, to give you an idea of how long it's been since these were manufactured. It does say Camaro on the side, has the tri-spokes on there. There's no prints on the back. That's part of the base. Details on the back of that do not look good at all. Basically, zero taillight details there. The flames on the hood look pretty good, though. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I like the blue color. And then the details on the other side exactly the same. Not that great of a release for that particular model, but it's could be worse. Could be worse. All right, very next one in the mix, number 8 of 12, moving from 7 to 8. This is also a brand spanking new deco, 1956 Ford F100 pickup in Edelbrock. This one has been very, very tough on the secondary market. I've seen this one go for as much as 20 or 25 bucks, which is just ridiculous. I got this entire set for 20 bucks, by the way. So just a little bit patient and, hoarding the notifications on eBay is how I was able to acquire this. But brand spanking new version for this one. This is the updated casting from the original one that came back out in 1996 was the original version of this casting. So there is your deets on the bottom. Super chrome base. Lot of ridiculous shading in there. There doesn't have the original casting number on there, but 2018 is when this was retooled. It's basically just been shrunk down from the original version because, in the... Looks like the wheel's a little bit crooked on this one, unfortunately. But that's okay. I can live with that. The wheel's just a little bit crooked on there. It's all right. This one is in Edelbrock. Of course, it says MBX Speed Shop on the side, Venice, California. Got Bell on there, Hooker, VP Fuels. Looks pretty good. Does have the disc hub wheels on there. A little bit of print on the hood. Looks pretty good. Like I said, super chrome base. No prints on the front. Just texture for the lights. You do have Ford embossed in the back, which looks pretty good. Again, the updated casting shrunk down a little bit smaller. A lot more plastic to it as well. I think it's a little bit better sized, actually, from the original version. But... not something I really feel like they really needed to go through and redo, but they did it anyways. All right, moving on to number 9 of 12. This is our first reissue. This is the 71 Pontiac Firebird Formula. This is a pretty cool casting. This is from the golden era of Matchbox, like 2007, I think, is when this was a new casting. So we'll crack this open. We have seen this one in black before with the... eagle on the side. There is no screaming eagle on the hood, though, unfortunately. This one right here, R29. So 2010 is actually when this model was new. That was right before Matchbox took a little bit of a dive, but that was the golden era. Just has the screaming eagle there on the side. Got some orange, white, and gold printing. Looks good. It says Firebird on the side, Formula 400. Like those details on there. Chrome interior makes for the chrome bumper. In the back, looks pretty good. Not a huge fan of chrome interior, but I do like the chrome bumper in the back, so you got to have a little bit of a trade-off on that one. This is our original release right here. This one is dated E24. So This is not a multi-pack or anything. I believe this was just a regular single release, single pack release. So you want to pick this one up, you might be able to find one on the bay. So our original one there on the bottom, you will see there is significant difference here. That one on the bottom is a darker orange for the original. It's actually a little bit brownish. It's pretty bright on the camera there, but in person, it's a little bit darker than what it shows on there. And then, of course, our brand new one there on the top, pretty bright orange. So pretty significant deal between the two, but the prints themselves are the same details. A little bit thicker in the white print on the bottom for the formula versus the one on the top as well. But there's always going to be those quality of prints. However, this one is significantly different on those colors. You can see quite different. The gold also on the new one on the top is much more brilliant than the one on the bottom. The gold is pretty much right in your face, which is good. Take that for sure. And then, of course, there's no differences to the base. They are exactly the same. The model is just not old enough to be any different, so we'll put that guy right there. All right, reissue of the next one, 10 of 12. This is the Ford Mustang GT 2019. This was one of the very first models that came out that had no interior. After the model already had an interior, they omitted the interior. Which was really, really stupid on Mattel's part. They claimed it was cost-cutting measures. But this is a reissue. Of course, this is a pretty decent casting. It doesn't get a lot of love as far as like appropriate prints, but that's okay. It's a Mustang. They're plentiful. If you want a good Mustang, you can get them from a million other brands out there. Tri-spokes on this one, not a huge fan of those, but that is what was the original release on it. Base details right there are 28 for this one. This is the original version right here. Again, no interior. That's why the window is so blacked out. If you shine some light in there, you can see in there a little bit, but there is no interior in the model. But the model did have an interior, and then it has an interior again now. I think it was just a really waste of time to omit that. But this, the original release, does have all the same details on there, same print, same tri-spokes as well. P18 is your day code on that one. I think that one is probably 2001. Or not 2001, 2021. Sorry about that. So we'll put these together. Our original one there on the bottom, clearly there's going to be differences in the shades of reds. There's no surprise there. The original one there on the bottom, new one on the top. New one is darker in the red print. Print on the deets are the same size though. Brembo looks to be the same size print. Darker chrome print on the new one versus the old one for those tri-spokes. It is quite noticeable. As far as the white goes, they are both kind of a pearlescent white, but you'll see the new one on the top is much thinner in the paint than the original one, which was relatively thick. You can see that quite a bit in the front, how much thicker the paint is on that one on the bottom. Again, you can see a lot more details on the right versus the left. As far as the detail on the bottom, though, nothing fancy here. Again, it's not an old enough model to have any base changes to it. Original one there on the bottom, new one on the top. So, decent enough change, I guess, to roll with it. It is what it is. All right, number 11 of 12. This is yet another reissue 68 Dodge D200 pickup. Yet this is the only first time the black one's been reissued. We've seen that kind of a grayish, greenish one re-released several times, but this one has only seen one re-release. It is right here. So we will go ahead and crack this open and see if there is any differences to the truck. These all have little plastic protectors in them, by the way. This is a super cool casting. I was super happy when Matchbox did this back in the day. They've had some pretty good versions since then. Hot Wheels will be doing one in the RLC this year. But this one just in black with some red striping on the side, silver outlining that. Does say Dodge 200 on the side. Those nice kind of rounded off-road wheels look pretty good. Does have Dodge embossed in the back as well. Looks pretty good. The interior is a kind of a darker gray color, kind of almost a gunmetal gray. Not quite gunmetal gray, but pretty close. Of course, no metal in the bed because that's just the way it works. There is your base deets right there. This is the original release right here. Again, doesn't appear to be much different at all. In 21 is the day code. This one is like 2019 probably. So these are the deets right here. The original release there is on the bottom. You'll see the red stripe is significantly darker on the original, a lot brighter on the new one there at the top. Silver and stuff is all the same prints on those. Same wheels between the two though. Same window as far as like the lack of tint, I guess you can say. As far as the interior colors, there is a significant shade difference between the interior colors. The original one there on the bottom is much, much lighter gray. New one on the top is much, much darker. The bottom one's more gray-ish. Top one's more gunmetal-ish. So that is significantly different. So take that. There's a little shade difference on the base color too, but this is one of those like crazy things where you got to be a crazy shade collector to see that. That interior variation is completely different. But as far as the base goes, they are basically the same. There's no details difference to them because, of course, it's not an old enough casting like usual. So we'll slide these guys over. We got one more to take a look at. All right, this last one is a little bit interesting. This one is number 12 of 12. So this actually was a 10-pack exclusive. I think when they were still doing 10-packs. It might have been when they very first moved to 9-packs, but regardless, this was a multi-pack exclusive for the Chevy Corvette TTop. See, it does have the 60th logo there on the top. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they kept the 60th logo on there. Because, yes, this was released when it was 60th logo. See, the card art doesn't even have 60th logo on there. But for some reason, they left it on the car. I think they should have left that off. I get it's a re-release. They're just using the same tempo. But that, to me, that's just lazy. I mean, the 60th anniversary, that was 10 plus years ago at this point. But this is the version. This is kind of the updated casting a little bit as far as the metal casting goes. This has been through a couple of changes since it was a new model back in the late 70s Matchbox, back in the day. Lesney era, end of the Lesney era. It does say Corvette on the hood. Got some colored stripes on there. Again, the 60th anniversary logo on there I think is ridiculous. But big wheels on the back, smaller ones on the front for the 5 spokes. There is your details. R26 is the base code. Matchbox 97. Now we are up to the 1400s now. So that is an insane amount of model differences. But this is one of the updated bases. You'll see 2020 is the date code on the bottom of this one. Or sorry, the copyright date on this one. This is the original release that came from that multi-pack. See, this one is the old school base. Still has the 70s logo on there. 1970 Mattel on there. Does have the old school circle Matchbox logo. F17 is the day code on this one. Trademark GM. Significant changes to the base. And the crazy thing is the base on the bottom is like the original mold, just with some differences for the lettering. The one on the top is a completely brand new mold for the base. And you can just see the quality difference between the two, and just all the quality of how the molding is. It's just crazy, the amount of changes to that. Also, you'll notice on the bottom one with that original base, the wheels did sit wider. So they changed that on the new base, so the wheels sit in much, much closer. There is a shade variation in the red, relatively significant. That new one on the top is much, much darker red. But they are still both big 5 spokes in the back, small 5 spokes in the front. And yes, they still do have that same print on the front. But I will tell you, the prints, despite the fact that this is the original molding type, the print on the one on the bottom is actually significantly nicer than this new one on the top. The colors are crisper. They look better. They flow together better. A little bit more black print in the 60th logo on that new one. But other than that, this one on the bottom has much, much better print. There is some interior changes as well on this particular casting. You'll also see that the fuel filler cap has been modified. Back of the casting has been cleaned up as well. So quite a bit of changes on this one. You see the size of the window in the back. Thickened up the pillars and things like that. Thickened up the section of the T-top. Also got rid of the corner windows as well. So there's been some significant changes to this casting. The front end is pretty much the exact same. But other than that, it's been significantly changed. So I do like when we get that, when the casting's been significantly modified, which is this one definitely has. But I'll take that one for sure. So there you go. That is the mix number 2 for 2022. I'm glad I can finally bring that to you after 2 years. And unfortunately, instead of telling you to go out to the pegs and find these, you'll have to go to Evo Bay and find them if you want them. These 2 models seems to be the money makers, obviously, because they are exclusive to the set. The rest of them, really up to your preference, whether you want to get those or not. But as a completist, I would say yes, you need to get them. So anyways, we're going to roll out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Take care.